lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Doing good, doing good. Looking forward to a good, clean race today. Yeah, I definitely think it will be. I mean, like you said, everybody but one truck's been out on the track at the moment. And we have 11 here in Nashville, so should be a clean race. Should see hopefully a lot of good racing along the track anyway. Yeah. Yeah, and with this being the second to last race before the championship run, Jeff Travis is sitting in 13th. He looks to be to get every point he can. So.
Apologies for the microphone issue there, but here we are. Jeff Travis, first one to complete a lap here, so he's going to jump to the top of the board initially. Puts down a 30.22. Brian Whitney with a 29.93 on his first lap.
Yeah, that's the fastest lap we've seen even in practice.
Clayton White jumps up to second place. David Bush coming across the finish line. We'll see where he fares. Sits at fourth for right now. See how Jeff Travis does on his second lap, if he can improve. Comes across the line. Take a look at Brian Whitney. Travis does not improve.
Neither did Whitney.
Anthony Crownover, though, jumps up with a 29.94. He's going to take a stab at the front row here. David Bush once again across the line. Here's Kerry Moore just finishing up his first lap. He was pretty quick in practice, but a couple of guys snuck in there late and took that top spot from him. Tristan Eaton at the top of the board, 29.86. We'll see if, oh no, Crownover got the wall, pushing it a little bit too hard, and is not going to complete that second lap. See if Kerry Moore can improve here.
Andrew Navarro was way slower this time than he was in practice. See if he can definitely improve on that lap, but he is done. He is headed to the pits.
Chris Mason coming up off of turn number 2. Tim Henderson a little bit in front of him on the track, so we'll see if these guys can jump on him. Jeremy Guerin is still not taking a lap yet, but still time here. Across the line goes Tim Henderson. Chris Mason right behind him to finish off his second lap. No improving there, and these guys are going to start in row number 5. So we talk about Nashville. It's a mile and a third, so it's a little bit smaller than most of these D-shaped ovals that you're used to seeing. But it's concrete, which is also different from a lot of these tracks. And I think that should be pretty fun for tire wear. Always love bringing up the tires, but
yeah, definitely. You're definitely going to want to be more concerned about tire wear here than probably fuel at the moment.
Yeah, these guys do get 4 sets of tires up in the pits here, so get a little bit extra, about 55 to 58 laps on fuel, so you'll have a little bit of extra chances to pit should you need those tires. Andrew Navarro getting back out on the racetrack. I think having already started his second lap, it might just be to get a little bit of track time here, but last week's winner, he's won every time he's shown up here, so
yeah, not only has he won, he's pretty much dominated most of it, so
well, just a couple more seconds until we grid up here. It's a cloudy late afternoon here. We mentioned the temperature sitting about 83 degrees, but might change as we jump into the race session here. Appreciate everybody tuning in here live on the eSports Broadcasting Network YouTube and the Sim Racing Media Facebook page.
yeah, definitely.
Time.
All right, it looks like we'll go over the grid real quick while they're all gridding up here. Tristan Evil on the pole with a 29.859. Brian Whitney on the outside, row 1. Row 2, Anthony Crownover, Kerry Moore. Row 3, Clayton White, David Bush. Row 4, Jeff Travis, Andrew Navarro, Chris Mason, and Tim Henderson. And then looks like Jeremy Garand has not jumped to the grid yet. But there you have it.
So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we got 11 trucks going to make their way around Nashville. The other thing that's kind of interesting is we're missing quite a few drivers that are within that 10th to 17th position there. So guys have a good chance to improve their standings and qualify for that chase for the championship.
Yeah, that definitely helps a guy like Chris Mason right now. You know, I don't see the 48 of McCain Sear here. Don't see Cody Porter out here either. Jeremy Kors out on the racetrack. Those are names near that playoff bubble. So those are potentially spots that Chris Mason can try to pass or make up in these last 2 weeks before we reset them, before we refuel and get ready to race for championship. The field is doubled up here, rolling down the back straightaway. Tristan Evil looking to lead him down. He is your points leader by he's got a 20-point lead here, so not quite a whole race, but pretty healthy gap.
Yeah, the top 4 drivers are the only drivers that have completed in all 10 races.
And we're about to get another one underway. We are refueled. We are fired up here at Nashville. Waiting for the green flag. There it is. We are underway here. 125 laps on the Martin Sports. Don't let your feet slip. 125.
Just an Evil out to a good head start there. Anthony. Yeah, he did not get the qualifying position he wanted, especially with how fast he's been running. So he is going to make his way to the front as quick as possible, it looks like.
Yeah, so in the first corner, he's already looking to chase down the next 3. He's already worked his way into the top 5 now. 3 spots in 1 lap. That's not too shabby as you see him side by side still for second. Tristan Evil loves seeing this. Smaller and smaller. Anthony Crownover able to take that second spot away from Brian Whitney now, who's got to hold out Kerry Moore. And Andrew Navarro looking right behind, trying to figure out where to go.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, once Anthony Crownover had that run, Kerry Moore was trying to get there too, but now Kerry Moore and Andrew Navarro side by side with Brian Whitney kind of in the middle.
Yeah, Andrew Navarro really trying to make that outside work. It's not usually a line you'll see run here, but hey, it's working. He's trying to get to the outside of the 84 Kerry Moore here. Jeremy Guerin did start the race. He's on track, just a little bit behind this pack. There's Navarro trying to get back to that top side. He likes it in 1 and 2. It doesn't seem to help him too much in 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit of a pinch close to the wall there by Kerry Moore. As he goes back to try to work on the 76 here. Ooh, a 3 wide move, potentially down into 3. Navarro's going to put it down there. Kerry Moore's going to give him some space, but we'll see how the run comes up off of turn 4. 84 slips wide. Navarro, he's going to move himself up into the 3rd place. Not quite clear of Kerry Moore yet, but now he is.
Yeah, he definitely wanted to make that pass. He kind of was setting it up to a couple laps, trying to figure out where he could go to get by him. But now he's got those 4 trucks behind him, so
Really our biggest mover, up 5 from the start so far. Clayton White sitting here trying to figure out where to go with this side-by-side battle, and David Bush and Brian Whitney right in front of him.
yeah, it looks like Brian Whitney decided he didn't want any part of being 3 wide for a while and didn't fight too hard to keep his position there, but he was one of our faster trucks we had even in practice, so.
Yeah, super quick truck in practice, sat on the second place, and is now down 5 spots from where he started. So not the start he's wanted to have. Maybe he's going to have to make an adjustment or two on the pit line.
Looks like Navarro hasn't been able to close too much on Crown over Evil at the moment, so. But it looks like things have kind of settled down and kind of spread out a little bit with, you know, only 11 trucks, so.
Closest battle on the racetrack right now is the one for 5th. You've got 3 trucks within about half a second of each other, but Brian Whitney is falling off of that just a little bit as Clayton White closes down 11.
Yeah, it looks like Clayton White's gonna start to close in and maybe work that inside line and complete the pass on David Bush within the next few laps if he keeps getting closer and closer to his bumper. But all 3 of those trucks are sitting in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the overall points for the season, so they're all comfortably in the chase. So.
Apologies for the stream on YouTube not being quite up to par. I'm trying to work with that, figure out what's going on with that.
While Liam is working on that, why don't I take a minute here, and since we're watching Clayton White anyway, go ahead and give us our Sticker Cabana. Sticker Cabana was born in 2013 by 2 very creative, driven, entrepreneurial beach bums motivated to create their own business. It wasn't long after that Sticker Cabana was created. Well, on the beach, of course, hence the name. Quality vinyl decals and over 1,000 designs on sticker display racks all over the country. These displays could be your next big seller. All of the company products are 100% made in the USA. Contact them at www.stickercabana.com. You see Clayton White rocking that nice Sticker Cabana decal on that orange truck.
As Brian Whitney back up to the back bumper of these guys, Clayton White not quite able to get around the 11 of David Bush. Guys, if you can, let me know in the comments. Fix that issue. I think I have it.
Ryan Whitney moving to the inside of Clayton White, gonna make the pass here. like maybe he was just trying to get out of the trouble that was 3 wide, that was causing him to go 3 wide, because he's been steadily improving every lap. So.
While we've been watching this battle, Andrew Navarro has made the move for second place. Now he's chasing down Tristan Evil. He's about a second back right now. Looking to close that gap and take the lead. Drive off into the sunset as he has in the past.
Yeah, we'll see this week if maybe Tristan Evil has something for him, because last couple weeks Tristan Evil has been able to run a clean race and just finish, towards the front anyway. But this week he's been pretty quick, and like you said, he had a second lead, but now it's 3/4 of a second.
On the longer run, he's been taking a couple tenths out. Last time, about 2 tenths. We'll see how it is this time around. Almost 3 that time, so definitely quicker. Just sliding it around a little bit, and as we approach 20 laps on these tires, it's going to get like that. Tim Henderson has come into the pits. Came in on lap 9. Since. So, it's unfortunate for him. We'll keep you updated if he gets back out on the racetrack. Only 2 tenths separating the top 2 by 3 tenths.
Yeah, closing in pretty quick once he got around Anthony Crown over there. Running that high line again. Almost stuck his nose right underneath Tristan there coming around that corner.
Yeah, he's looking to get a run coming above the corner so he can stick his nose there on the straightaway. You can see him setting up that inside entry so he can get an inside exit. He's kind of loosening up that 17. Tristan Evil not going to let him go easy. To the bottom side goes Navarro, but that's a pretty rough transition there. Keeps that nose down there. He's about at his door. We'll see if he can complete this pass.
Yeah, side by side.
A little sideways for the 42.
Yeah, still side by side. Looks like they're both almost mirror images of each other. One's low, one high, and keeping almost the same exact arc style.
It looks like Navarro's going to be able to jump out in front a little bit more there, and side draft down the back straightaway from the 17, trying to keep that battle side by side. Now maybe he's looking for a little bit of a crossover. Sideways is the 42 once again.
Yeah, it looked like Evil there was trying to do the same exact setup that Navarro was doing to him earlier. So
Navarro back out front, got about 2.5 tenths of a lead here, and he's looking to say a lot.
yeah, just like the last couple weeks.
Travis trying to chase down that 7 and Jeremy Guerin.
Got Jeremy Guerin up 3 positions from where he started after not qualifying.
Yeah, good start for him. Clayton White, he's down 2 from where he started. Not really how he wanted his race to start. We saw him battling with Brian Whitney and David Bush. Brian Whitney has gotten back around David Bush now, so up into the top 5 for him. Looking at Kerry Moore right in front of him.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Whitney maybe was saving some tires that first part of the race because looks like his car has kind of came alive. He's one of the fastest cars on the track right now.
Yeah, last time by, he was about 2/10 quicker than that 84 truck. He's now working the 27 of Anthony Crownover. This battle is for third place. Barry Moore trying to get up there and get up into that podium position. Oh, he's gonna look in there.
Yeah, almost got his nose down there and thought better of it, looked like. Looks like Kerry Moore is going to be able to complete the pass this time, and Brian Whitney's right there looking to the inside of Crownover as well.
Yeah, Crownover didn't fight him too hard there. We'll see if he fights Brian Whitney, or if maybe he's done a little bit too much to his tires in the beginning part of this race. He's kind of holding on for that first pit stop. Which, strategy-wise, I think we'll probably see that right around 40 to 45. If we stay green, I think the fuel run is 55 to 58 laps, so more than likely going to have to pit twice. I don't think you're going to be able to save. You'd have to save about 5 laps a run there. That's going to be tough.
No, I definitely think if this stays green, you're going to want tires regardless around 40, 45, because the way these guys are going to start sliding here in a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to be asking for trouble.
Yeah, we saw in the Cup race today how important tires were at the end with differing strategies. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. So you see another side-by-side battle up here. Brian Whitney trying to take third place away from the 84 Kerry Moore.
Yeah, 31.50 that time by for Brian Whitney. So he is definitely kind of on the move.
Yeah, just a touch quicker than Tristan Evil that time, but we'll make it a pass. That's still pretty impressive. Not quite as quick as our leader, Andrew Navarro, who's by far our biggest mover at this point, has jumped up 7 spots from starting in 8th after a bad qualifying run. So we'll see if Brian Whitney can chase down that 17 truck. About 3 seconds apart right now. Oh, a little sideways there for 17 Tristan Evil.
He's definitely been one of the most consistent drivers on the circuit. Out of the 10 races he started, he's finished top 10 7 times, top 5 4 times. So,
yeah, been calm, cool, collected all season, and that's paid off in consistency. And while we're watching Tristan here, it's a good time to talk about Martin Sports, the sponsor of this race. Of course, the winner of this race is going to get a pair of Martin Sports socks, better grip on the pedals here, and that's going to be beneficial. Martin Sports and Great Lakes Clothing Company are a family-owned business that have been serving Marquette County, Delta County, and Alger County in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, or the UP, for the last 10 years. Martin Sports and Great Lakes Clothing Company continues to expand and grow with each passing year, starting from one simple embroidery machine to multiple machines, screen printing, heat pressing, custom sublimation printing, and becoming a major brand in the sim racing market, and more. Such growth has continually allowed them to offer the highest level of service to their retail team and corporate accounts. You can contact them at martinsports906.com. Anthony Crownover's falling back to 5th place.
yeah, it's definitely, I think, the tires that are causing a lot of these guys to fall off the pace a little bit. But we saw, like, Brian Whitney kind of take it easy the first part of the race, and now he's moving back up to third position, down only one spot from where he started.
Yeah, he's gaining on that second place truck a bit more, Tristan Evil. Actually, that last time around, he was quicker than Andrew Navarro, your leader, so we'll keep an eye on that. Maybe his tire strategy is working out. Once again, about, oh wow, he was actually 2.5 tenths quicker there, so Brian Whitney's got some speed under the hood there after a bad start. Fell all the way back to 7th, I believe, and has gotten his way back up to 3rd place.
Yeah, definitely. He's been all over the board, but he's making a run towards the end of this tire run, so he definitely figured something out there.
Well, I would imagine we're probably approaching pit stops pretty soon here, so who's going to be the first one to dive it into pit road and try to pull everybody with them? You're going to have a bit of an advantage on those fresh tires, especially with the lap times falling off as much as they have, over a second. Some guys a second and a half from where they started the race. So
I would say if you're towards the back half of the field, you're going to probably be one of the first ones that wanting to pit, because you either ran your tires off or you might, try something different to get better track position. Looks like Tristan Evil was a little slick there coming out of 4.
yeah, this track is really slick. Just like last week at Richmond, you're going to see a lot of these guys. Sorry, not Richmond. I just totally lost my train of thought there. I'm sorry, guys.
Last week was Richmond. You're right.
Yeah, no, the transitions coming up off the turns really got people loose at Richmond. And you see a little bit of that transition type at you said 2. Turn 4.
Yeah,
that wall just kind of jumps out at you again.
Yeah, you're going from basically 14 degree on the turn to 6 on the back stretch and 9 on the front. So there is quite a little bit of difference, but it's still relatively, flat for the most part.
Clayton White sitting in 8th place right now. Jeff Travis about half a second behind him. He's closing down a little bit. I imagine Clayton's going to probably try to make a big swing at this when he comes down into the pits. Maybe try to change something up and move in the right direction a little bit more.
Well, like I said, and like you said, these guys might have overdrove their tires, because we saw Clayton White up there and battling 4th and 5th, and now he's back here in 8th. And his lap time is fallen off quite a bit. His last lap was 32.2 basically. So maybe he ran his tires off and now he's just hanging on, waiting for the pit stops.
Yeah, there's Jeff Travis going down to the inside now, making that move. Gonna put him up into 8th place. Clayton doesn't give him too much of a fight right now.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth fighting for at the moment. We're not even close to halfway or anything, so no, Clayton knows Clayton's going to the pits.
He's going to be the first one. We'll see how much time he gains on those fresh tires and if that pulls other guys with him.
Well, like I said, if you're going to pit early, the back half of the field is probably where you're going to want to pit. As Andrew Navarro is going to put Chris Mason a lap down here.
Mason doesn't put out too much of a fight for the leader here. Clayton White's down for his stop. Looking for a flawless one. His iRacing pit crews are generally pretty good. Brian Whitney's caught up to the back of Tristan Evil.
Yeah, Brian Whitney is just cruising towards the front. And Clayton White's back out on track after a 15-second pit stop.
Yeah, he's just
Jeff
over
Travis
2
jumped in
laps down.
too.
Jeff Travis, yep, into the pits now. He's racing with Clayton White a little bit before that pit stop. Navarro's still staying out, though.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Navarro try and push it as far as he can for as long as he can, and then come into the pits. But we'll see what happens with these lap times once they get back out on the track with these fresh tires.
And Chris Mason has also jumped into the pits. So your top 8. Or top 7 rather, still waiting on making a pit stop. Brian Whitney side by side with Tristan Evil. He's going to be able to make that pass. Chris Mason coming up off the pit lane there. Gary Moore not too far behind this pack, and Anthony Crownover right behind, about a second behind him.
Clayton White just ran the fastest lap he ran this race of a 30.42 right after that pit stop. So
fresh tires are going to be key here. Tristan Evil's into the pits. So the first of our leaders to blink is Tristan Evil. Lost that second spot, so that's enough for me. We'll see if that pulls Andrew Navarro in. That's 45 laps. Pretty good spot to split this into thirds. Gives you about 240 lap segments here. Navarro still staying out. Clayton White trying to take one of his laps back.
yeah, Clayton just ran even faster than his last lap. He ran a 30.32 that time. He is over a second faster than Andrew Navarro.
Tristan Evil coming out of the pits. Brian Whitney going in.
Clayton White down on the inside, Andrew Navarro there.
That's not what Navarro wanted to see, especially if he wanted to make a pit stop this time.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lets it go pretty easily there. Kerry Moore comes down into the pit lane from second place. Trying to get a little bit of a gap on Andrew Navarro. Anthony Crownover is still staying out. Moves into second along with David Bush, Jeremy Guerin. Potentially hoping for a caution or something, but put some of these guys in on the lap now. Navarro staying out another lap. I wonder if he's going to try to push this on a full fuel run. Carry more to the pits.
I don't know if that would be a wise idea if these tires are that much faster. But we will definitely find out. And he's still staying out.
Crownover, David Bush, and Jeremy Garrett all under a blanket here. About half a second separating these guys. Brian Whitney right behind them on fresh tires. He's going to hope to make quick work of them. He wants to leapfrog that 42.
Looks like the 17 of Tristan Evil is still on the lead lap.
He is 1.5 down. Oh. Andrew Navarro coming in.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Steve Crownover's going to come out and get that extra point for leading the lap. He's going to let Whitney go by fairly easily. Crownover does. He stays out to lead the lap, get himself a bonus point.
Well, Tristan Evil just ran, looks like the fastest lap of the race of 30.08.
Kerry Moore not too far behind with the 30.15. These guys are pushing it here on these new tires. You see that 6 getting sideways there off of turn 4. Just gonna let Tristan Evil go. Andrew Navarro working that access road. Sideways, they're coming up off the pits.
Yeah, trying to get as much speed as he can to merge in here in front of Tristan Evil.
Yeah, Tristan Evil now within a straightaway of him. That strategy seems to have worked for now. But we're gonna have to see how. No, I think Andrew Navarro is the first guy on fresh tires. So Anthony Crownover staying out to lead a few more. Jeremy Guerin, David Bush right behind him for second. They get pretty close there.
Yeah, I wonder if these guys are going to just push it as long as they can. Jeremy Guerin to the inside. Looks like he's going to try and get a bonus point for leading a lap.
Yeah. It's a pretty commanding move down there to the bottom side. Going to come out there and slap David Bush. Going to try to follow. These guys are out here kind of hoping for a caution, but they don't want to be the caution racing this hard.
Definitely not. I mean, they're on older tires. They're running, well, Crownover ran a 32.50, so almost 2 seconds slower than the fastest guy on the track. Which is now Navarro, because he just ran a 30.03.
And that is, the fastest lap of the race this time. And 42 is quick week in and week out.
Yeah.
There. David Bush, Jeff Travis up in this mix now. He's a lap behind these guys. A couple of laps behind him, rather.
These guys definitely have to be thinking pit road here this time or next time, because we haven't had any cautions and it's been completely green, and it's going to be lap 58, so I'd imagine they're getting close to running on fumes.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's a chance that they were able to save this whole time and potentially try to bring it down to a one-stopper, I don't know how likely that is. But it looks like here comes the 7. Jeremy Guerin. David Bush stays out. Anthony Crownover stays out as well. David Bush going to lead a lap. Get himself a bonus point.
Yeah, I'd imagine we see him come in this next time by too, but
Andrew Navarro is only about 12 seconds behind these guys, so.
that is just crazy. But the lap times fall off so bad because they're, like I said, almost 2 seconds different.
Yeah, I mean, it's already fallen off about half a second for some of these guys. Brian Whitney is about half a second off of his fastest lap now, and so is Kerry Moore.
Yeah, I think when they came out of the pits, everybody was pushing it really hard because you saw all those fast times, and now it's kind of back to reality.
Navarro hasn't really fallen off a whole lot, though. Only about 0.2 slower than his best time, but he is on quite a bit fresher tires than these guys. About 5 laps fresher than Tristan Evil behind him. Clayton White looking to get his lap back here. David Bush rather stays out another time.
They must have found a good fuel-saving setup.
That is entirely possible.
I mean, if you're going to turn this into a one-stopper, you better have found something, because you got to save not only for one stint but for 2.
Yeah, but I mean, if they could somehow pull this off, that I would be amazed. This would be. I'm not gonna sleep on any strategy calls, especially with the way that, like we said, we saw Denny Hamlin drive through the field in the Cup race. I mean, we could see quite the battle play out here at the end if this 11 crew can somehow, some way make this a 2-stopper or a 1-stopper.
Looks like he's probably going to come into... No, still not.
This time.
Wow. Okay.
62. In a 125 lap race, as soon as he, crosses midway down the back straightaway, that is halfway.
Yeah, I mean, if they found that fuel saving, I mean, maybe he can. Maybe that's going to be the winning strategy that knocks off the alien of this league right now of Andrew Navarro. I mean, he just goes out and goes crazy.
Here comes David Bush. He's got to be flawless on entry here. Crowd over coming with them. These guys definitely look to be making it a one-stop race here, coming in on lap 63. So Navarro's going to inherit the lead. Tristan Evil inherits second place. Brian Whitney seems to doesn't seem to get off the start of a run very well. So he seems to fall back a little bit, and then as the tires wear out, he kind of gets his pace back. Under fire a little bit from Kerry Moore here. David Bush, the 14.98 pit stop. Crowd over the same. So I think that's pretty standard for...
Yep, 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah. But David Bush was about a second quicker on that pit stop exchange than Anthony Crowdover, so that should put a little bit more distance between them as they get back up to speed. We'll see how they merge out. They definitely go down a lap here. But now they're on about 12 lap fresher tires than your leader, Andrew Navarro.
Yeah, but if they can make it from here to the finish, which on field they probably can't make it for lap 4. Well, I mean, if you think you're on that one up track, you don't have to drive as you can. Just got to keep stable with the fuel, and everybody else has, you don't. I mean, be there at the finish, so.
A bit of an issue here in the there, Mike. It was coming. Yeah, it's not really coming through.
All right, no.
No, not really. Most of the field pretty spread out here. You see Kerry Moore just a little bit under half a second behind Brian Whitney here. But this is really going to turn into a pretty cool strategy.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, you have, everybody else, is probably going to have more time to hit it in lap 50 or so. Then you have Conover and David pitted on at 63, so if they can make it to the end and hold on, you should be fine.
Yeah, I would imagine these guys will probably be in the pits around 85, maybe 90 if they want a double stint, or if they want to do a shorter final stint. But otherwise, I'm sure they're going to try to split it right in half here. Anthony Crowdover's quite a bit closer to David Bush than he was a couple of laps ago. He's chasing him down, trying to be the first one on this strategy. This guy's right behind Tristan Evil in second place. Got to go ahead and get around him. Looks like he's not going to fight Crowdover that hard either. Like we said, probably 15 plus lap fresher tires than most of these guys.
Yeah, as long as they stay clean and save a little bit of fuel, I mean, that should be good to go.
Yeah, Andrew Navarro sits with a 12-second lead over Tristan Evil. Brian Whitney 16 seconds back. Kerry Moore, the last driver on the lead lap right now, and Jeremy Garrett rounds out your top 5. He's having himself a pretty solid run there. Mountain Dew Code Red Toyota Tundra.
Yeah, he definitely has been running a lot better this week than Richmond treated him.
Yeah, up six spots from the start. And I was just gonna say, I haven't really seen Code Red around. That does make me sad. That's one of my favorite flavors, and hopefully you find it soon. Little side note there. We watched Jeremy Garrett work 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks like we have Mickey Cox in the YouTube chat cheering for Brian Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney's having himself a pretty good run here, sitting in the 3rd place right now. Gaining time on the 17 of Tristan Evil. Hoping to get that spot, get up into 2nd place.
Yeah, like you said, he's kind of fallen back on the beginning of his run, but if you look at the end of the last run, he improved from 7th or 8th all the way up into 2nd before he made his pit stop. So.
All right. Well, I would imagine we're probably 5 to 10 laps away from pit stops. Go ahead and jump side by side and watch a few of the partners.
Drivers that took time, all of them within 3.5 tenths of each other tonight is going to be a very closely competitive race.
As the field works its way out of the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left to say is wipe the visor, adjust the 5-point safety harness, because race fans, it's showtime!
Amazing looking cars already. Green flag will fly.
Well, oh, the rocket! Well, one thing that you're going to see at this track that we haven't seen the last few weeks is a surface that's multi-group. I think this is the first multi-group surface we're going to have.
After an amazing race at Daytona, we now come to the West Coast and Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California for the 2nd round of the Way She Goes Racing League Cup Series.
Back live here in Nashville Super Speedway in the Martin Sports. Still let your feet slip 125. Andrew Navarro continues to lead. Brian Whitney has made the pass for 2nd place over Tristan Evil and has got about 3/4 of a second of a gap between him and Evil now. Kerry Moore about 3 seconds behind those guys. And Jeremy Garrett roughly half a lap behind him in 5th place.
And then we have Crownover and David Bush on that different strategy in 6th and 7th.
Yeah, Crownover was able to get by David Bush, so I wonder if he's maybe feeling a little bit more confident in his drive, or maybe Bush is not quite as confident. He's sitting in behind that truck. Clayton White. Get a little draft there. Potentially some strategies working there.
Saving a little bit of fuel. Yeah, definitely looks like our YouTube chat is full of Brian Whitney supporters.
Yeah, he's second place. He's had himself a strong weekend throughout. Practiced very well. Started on second place. Andrew Navarro is sitting about 18 seconds out front right now, but definitely doesn't take away from just how good this 76 truck has been all weekend. Gary Moore chasing down the 17 of Tristan Evil, not too far behind this behind Brian Whitney there.
Yeah, it looks like Crownover and Bush are closing in pretty quick on Guerin there too. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they're running any harder, because it looks like Crownover is still running a 31:15, so about a couple tenths faster than Navarro.
Ryan Whitney's the first to come to the pits. Lap 85. So 45 on the first run and 40 for the second. Right around 85, rather. It's 84. So we'll see if this pulls in any of the other drivers. Andrew Navarro, I would imagine, is probably going to stick pretty close to his strategy, as it's worked very well for him so far. Just kind of cruising along, doing his own thing.
Well, he about has to. Right now he's 21 seconds in front of Evo as Kerry Moore hits the pits as well.
Yeah, didn't quite have enough time to chase down that 17 before he got to the pits, but should be able to leapfrog him here with the undercut. Chris Mason coming into the pits. All these guys making their last stop. Meanwhile, Anthony Crownover and David Bush hoping that they have already made it. And with the speed of that 42, I think it's going to be a pretty tough ask as Tristan Evil now comes into the pits. It's going to be a pretty tough ask to say, hey, save me enough fuel, but keep driving fast.
Yeah. I think we're either going to be seeing Andrew Navarro win this thing with how fast he's been and, out there, 15 seconds or so in front of everybody, or it's going to come down to the strategy and Crownover and Bush pulling that one-stop race and taking it to the winner's circle.
I tell you what, man, we've got 40 laps for this thing to play out. This is really one of those races where you hate to be on top of the pit box, but you love to watch that guy stress out,
Yeah, I mean, how would you feel if you were on Navarro's pit box and you see two guys make it, to 64, 65 laps, knowing that they're probably going to try and just one-stop it after you guys just had to pit early?
Yeah, we'll see how much time they're able to gain throughout the course of this second stint for them. As Navarro still staying out here. He's catching up to the back end of Tristan Evil now. Or rather getting passed by Evil and now Kerry Moore. Unlap himself once. David Bush closes back down on the back end of Anthony Crownover. Andrew Navarro's into the pits.
Yeah, so now we'll see how this all shakes out, and See if Crownover and Bush can make it to the end.
Yeah, Crownover and David Bush both working their way through 3 and 4 right now, trying to build up as much of a gap as they can on Andrew Navarro. He's already out of the pits. He's got a 14.5 second pit stop. So we'll see. Gonna have a lead change, but for how long? Jeremy Garrett is still out there. He's actually the leader, but effectively, Anthony Crownover and David Bush have gotten around Navarro. Navarro much quicker on those fresh tires.
Yeah, Navarro just passed David Bush right there.
Puts him in 3rd place right now until Jeremy Garrett comes in the pits. He's the only one too terribly far in front of these guys.
He is not. Looks like about 3 seconds, man.
He's already got about a second over Crownover now. So if you're one of these two that stayed out, you're pretty much playing damage control at this point. You know you've got a hefty gap all the way back to Brian Whitney. So you should, I mean, you're kind of hoping second place is your best bet if it goes green.
Yeah, I think you kind of went with that strategy, hoping that. Holy, Navarro just ran a sub 30 lap time right there.
Ooh,
So
29.90.
So you were kind of hoping that Navarro would make a mistake or something on the pit lane, and you'd have a bigger gap as Navarro passes Garland for the lead.
Yeah, we'll see if that prompts that 7 truck to come into the pits any sooner there. Wait,
I mean,
past the Crownover and Bush.
I mean, Jeremy Garland did pit on lap 57, so it'd be a pretty big ask if he doesn't try and pit, but the way he's been running, he'll probably come into the pits within the next couple laps and make use of the fresher tires and see if he can run some trucks down.
Yeah, I would assume that has to be the call. 68 laps, I believe, is what it would be. That would be. Andrew Navarro already up to now 7 seconds over Anthony Crownover as Garrett does come into the pits this time. Ryan Whitney,
I guess
hoping to close down the gap between him and David Bush.
Yeah, about 11 seconds, so almost 12, so see if he can do that. But Harry Moore is right on the back bumper of Tristan Evil as well. Jumps
Yeah,
down to the inside.
Tristan's going to pinch him down there. This guy's getting awful close to 3 and 4. Oh, Tristan goes wide, has to let up off the gas. That's going to give it Kerry Moore that spot. Oh, a little bit of contact between Travis and Evil there.
As we are almost to lap 100 here.
Yeah, we're approaching 25 laps to go here in Nashville as the sun is setting. Andrew Navarro's got himself a pretty hefty gap now, over 10 seconds.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Money Shift Media is going to be tired of taking his picture down there in Victory Lane. But Money Shift Media is a sim photography business doing professional pictures for individuals, teams, leagues, and more. We also provide graphic design services to the iRacing community. If you need to get in contact with them or want to see some of their stuff, www.moneyshiftmedia.com/sim-photography.
Yeah, we definitely love those guys. They put out phenomenal photography of all sorts of racing moments, victory lane action. Definitely want to check out their work. Speaking of checking out, Andrew Navarro checked out. 13 seconds is the gap now over Anthony Crownover, who's working a couple laps trying to build that gap over David Bush. These guys are probably in the longest 25 laps of their life. Tires are probably shot at this point.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to be slipping and sliding a little bit already, but I mean, kind of what once you make this pit strategy call, you're kind of stuck with it, because if you come to pits now, all that time you would have gained by doing that one stop strategy is out the window.
Of course, that does all change if we do see a yellow flag over these final 24 laps. 24 laps as Navarro crosses the line just behind these two here. Just in front of Jeff Travis, who I think might be a little bit quicker, but doesn't really want to play with that fire. Saw them touch just a little bit down the front straightaway, but no harm, no foul.
Yeah, they got a little close side by side, but both able to keep it clean and keep it going. So.
Ryan Whitney is down to 7.5 seconds behind David Bush. He's definitely quicker than these guys. He might have enough time to get there. We approach 20 to go.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. But like we've always said, catching somebody's one thing, passing them something else. But yeah, they keep closing that gap.
Now down to 7 seconds. So Crownover and Bush hoping to maybe steal a win this way, and now they're potentially on the verge of losing a spot. Brian Whitney and Kerry Moore's only second behind him, so. You can see how much that 88 closed up on the back of the 17 going into 20.
Yeah, Jeff Travis is definitely seems a little bit faster, but he's also a couple more laps down than Tristan Evil, so.
Yeah, Jeff Travis is 5 laps off the road. He doesn't just need to push any issues right now. Bring it home here and complete the most laps that he can. Andrew Navarro's trying to put him one more down, but he's not too far in front.
If nothing else, I bet all these guys are pretty happy that they're probably not going to have to race Andrew Navarro for a championship after he shows up and just runs away with the races.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, we'll take just a moment here and look at this beautiful Toyota Tundra. Doesn't look like it's hit a thing or has a scratch. We'll bring up the McGee family Toyota dealership. When we look back on our 40-year history in Claremont, we're proud of our tremendous track record and the name we've built for ourselves. As a family-owned business, we treat all of our customers like family because we want you to grow with us over the next 40 years. When people tell us they've come from Hartford, Norwich, Rutland, Nashville, Laconia, White River Junction, Lebanon, and Concord just to see us, we couldn't be more pleased with how far we've come. You can buy a new Toyota or a quality used car just about anywhere these days, but we'd like to think people come to McGee Toyota of Claremont because we offer a better experience.
Yeah, I definitely thank them for jumping on board here.
As you see the battle behind these guys, Jeff Travis finally trying to get past that 17 truck. Tristan Evo goes a lap down. Ryan Whitney continues to close that gap on David Bush and Anthony Crownover. I wonder if yeah, Tristan's just going to let him go. I was wondering how much he was going to fight that, but now we'll see how that gap grows.
Yeah, no. Looked like Tristan kind of let him go a little bit, but then he tried to close back in. Yeah, Jeff Travis sporting the McGee family of dealerships.
So Evo back to the inside. These guys aren't racing for position, but they're just out here having fun.
Yeah, definitely. But that gap from Brian Whitney to Crownover and Bush is closing dramatically.
Only 5 trucks on the lead lap right now, and that just goes to show how dominant that 42 truck has been pretty much any time it shows up.
Yeah, it's almost like he has rocket fuel in there. But there's Brian Whitney trying to close that gap on David Bush. It's down to a second and 3/4. So it definitely looks like he will get to David Bush and probably to Crownover. So we will see what happens once he gets there.
Yeah, it's a matter of time. I think with the tire differential, it shouldn't be too tough to pass him. We'll have to see how racy these guys are if they're still in fuel saver mode, just trying to make it to the end.
Yeah, even Kerry Moore is only 3.5 seconds back behind him as well. So, and then of course, Navarro's right in the picture as well.
Yeah, I think Navarro wants to go and lap the whole field.
I mean, when you have the biggest lead as he does, I mean, you have to have another goal or something, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's putting on Martin Truex type for the 600.
Yeah, just got around Kerry Moore there.
Moves up out of the way there. He's got 27 seconds, and these guys run about 31, 32-second laps. So.
Yeah, it looks like he'll
get to the back bumper, towards the back bumper, David Bush.
Yeah, four trucks on the lead lap. Yep. Brian went to the inside, gonna make a pass on David Bush here.
Yeah, Bush not really able to put up much of a fight. Slot in behind that 76 truck, and now Brian Whitney's looking at Anthony Crownover, trying to take second place now.
Yeah, you see second, third, and fourth, and then right here's the leader.
Far behind that.
Yeah, not even a corner.
Seems like Crownover's kind of kicked it into high gear now. He's pushing a little bit harder, trying to get that 76 truck behind him. He's now working inside of Clayton White.
Yeah, trying to get another truck between him and Whitney there. But Whitney drops down to the inside, makes a pass on Clayton White. And he's closing the gap quick in a hurry to Crownover.
That had a NASCAR Fox moment.
And Navarro's closing in on David Bush as well. 7 laps to go.
And Brian Whitney ran on the back bumper of Crownover, trying to take second place. About a 2 truck lengths separate him going into the corner, and he's closing that gap quite a bit. Had to let off just a little bit as the 27 took his line away.
Yeah, 42 got around David Bush and is now looking at Crownover.
5 laps to go this time for Andrew Navarro. David Bush looks to get around that 53 truck in front of him. It just got around him.
Yeah, they're not racing for position or anything, so.
They're racing having fun. 5 laps
Yeah.
to go for Andrew.
5 laps to go, 2 trucks to go.
Yeah, I think he'll probably get to 27. I'm not sure about the 76 though.
Yeah, his last lap was a 31:39. Brian Whitney's was a 31:49. They are basically the two fastest trucks other than Jeremy Guerin there, who hit it on lap 96.
Crownover not too far off of Brian Whitney right now. Andrew Navarro has been virtually flawless all day.
Yeah, the only time it looked like he messed up was qualifying.
Yeah, had himself a bad go of it. Might have touched the wall on his second lap and didn't get to put one down. Started the race in 8th. Was able to get up to the lead. Get up to the top 5 by the end of the first lap. Get up to the lead probably by the end of 10 laps. And he's got just a couple more times around here. 3 laps to go. 2 laps to go here at Nashville Super Speedway. Catching up to that 3rd place truck. See if he gets him puts him a lap down.
Yeah, but even if he does get put a lap down, Crownover and Bush definitely made the right call as far as track position. They're going to finish, looks like probably 3 and 4, so.
Yeah, white flag in the air though for Andrew Navarro. Sitting right up on the back bumper of that 27. There's no real rush to get around him. Just to the top, says if it happens, it happens. And it looks like it might here coming up off of turn number 4. Andrew Navarro is going to win his 4th race of the season by almost a full lap. Martin Sports, Don't Let Your Feet Slip 125 goes to Andrew Navarro. Meanwhile, 2nd place is still going on. Up the track is 6 and Chris Mason. Everybody behind these guys has already finished the race. Watching Brian Whitney and Anthony Crownover take their last laps here. And yeah, Brian Whitney is going to come home 2nd. Anthony Crownover rounds out the podium. With a fantastic strategy call for David Bush, Anthony Crownover. Crownover to be able to get that podium finish. That's incredible. I didn't think a one-stop was going to be able to work, but these guys came out here, proved me wrong. Now we're going to watch Andrew Navarro burn it down.
While we're doing that, let me see if we can get Anthony Crownover up here. Hey, Anthony, Mike and Liam up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I got a copy.
So that was a heck of a strategy call there, trying to make this a one-stop race, and looks like it was successful. Got you a third place finish here. Was that always the strategy?
Yeah, I think going into it, once I seen, okay, I need to save a couple laps of gas each tank, um, and that was probably the only shot that I had. I might have still had a top 5, but um, this is probably the best outcome that I could have hoped for. I would have liked to beat Brian right there, but that's all right. I'll take P3.
Yeah, awesome. How do you feel going into Bristol next week?
I love Bristol, so I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. A lot of beating and banging, probably a few cautions, but that's just Bristol, so I'm excited.
All right. Well, anybody on that truck you want to thank?
Just shout out to Rogue Energy. Put in Team Pro Rev for 20% off there with any of that stuff. Connor Hazel on the paints, and Moonlight Speed Concepts for any setups for your open races.
Well, awesome. Anthony, we'll let you go back to celebrating your podium finish here and look forward to talking to you hopefully next week.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead and bring in our second place finisher, Brian Whitney.
Hey guys, have a good night.
Oh, well, looks like he was getting off.
Yeah, and I don't see.
I do not see Navarro in the chat at the moment, so we'll have to potentially talk to him next week. But we will go through our finishing order here. Andrew Navarro with a commanding 30-second win over Brian Whitney, who makes a couple of passes in the last few laps to go and take second. Anthony Crownover holds on with a phenomenal strategy call for third. Same for David Bush up in fourth, making it a one-stopper. Kerry Moore rounding out your top 5. We got Tristan Evil, Jeremy Garand, Clayton White, Chris Mason, Jeff Travis, Tim Henderson rounding out the field.
It looks like we have Andrew Navarro, so we'll go ahead and bring him up.
Oh, yes. Let's bring in our winner, Andrew Navarro. Hey, Andrew, it's Mike and Liam up in the booth. You got us?
Yep.
Well, I always ask you what you put in that thing, but I think I'm going to change it up this week. Was your goal there at the end to try to lap the whole field, or?
I thought the one stop would have been way better, so I was just hoping to be in front of those guys, and I noticed they didn't gain much on that thing, so I think with like 20 to go, I was like, I could probably get the entire field maybe. But yeah, I don't think I would have been able to catch Brian even if we had 10 more laps, because we were doing just about even lap times.
Yeah, so I mean, you mentioned that one-stop strategy. Did you have any idea that people were even going to try that? Because I sure didn't.
Yeah, I looked at the fuel for the race, and I was like, well, you can make it, but just because you can make it doesn't mean it's better. And I was a little scared midpoint of the race, so I was like, oh, dang, it's going to work for them, and they're going to pass everyone, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, you drove a flawless race once again here tonight. What do you want to thank for such a strong performance?
I'd like to thank 7Cs, Tranquility Esports, iRacing iFlag, Smart Sports, Premier Racing Setups, and that, Chris, or Clayton, putting the league on, and you guys for broadcasting.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Just showing you burn it down here. Congratulations on your win, man. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
Well, overall, I thought that was a pretty fun race. I mean, we saw a lot of green flag racing, things getting strung out, but the strategy calls at the end, it really it really made things exciting. And we even saw or heard from Andrew Navarro. He had a little bit of concern there when that first pit cycle went through with the lead that those guys had. But I thought it was pretty fun here at Nashville.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a little bit of everything. Had, the long green flag runs, a couple different strategies. I mean, you never know if it would have been a little closer on fuel. Maybe Crownover and Bush could have ran a little bit harder and pushed that a little bit. But, when you have to save a few laps, it kind of limits what you can do.
Yeah, it definitely makes it tough. And, like we said, it's never fun to hear save fuel but go faster.
Yeah. But it'll definitely be interesting to see how this all shakes out after Bristol and we have our top 13 for the chase.
Yeah, that's another key thing. Reset after Bristol. Next week is going to be insane battling on the short track, and there is nowhere to run if you have a problem. So stay tuned. Tune in next week at same time, 7:30 Eastern, on the SRM Facebook page, so the ESBN YouTube channel. And that should about do it for us. It's Liam Irvig and Mike DeMoney signing off for ESPN. Thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully you have a great week.
Yep, see you guys next week.